While I've said before that I lack the vocabulary to talk in any way about the structure or composition of music, I can tell you how a particular piece or soundtrack makes me feel. The music to Disco Elysium feels like commuting to work on a crowded train on a cold and rainy Monday morning. On the surface, that might sound like one of the most depressing experiences you can have. Even as someone who basically enjoys their job, I can tell you I loathe dragging myself out of bed at 5:45 AM on a Monday, and that it's a feeling that only gets amplified with every step I take away from the comfort of my home, my computer, and the various creative pursuits that make me truly happy. Standing there on the train, I'm surrounded by so many exhausted and miserable people who maybe squeezed a little too much fun out of the all too short weekend and are now regretting it or just despairing at how far away they are from their next chance at a little freedom. Everyone is silent. Heads are bowed or buried in phones, books, or lolling in a half-asleep state. It all seems so hopeless, and you'd be tempted to ask, where did we all go wrong? That is until you take a step back and you see that all of us gathered there in that moment are in fact sharing the same experience. We are equally despairing at the injustice of work and tax inflicted on us by a society centuries before we were even born, and we're all probably exaggerating this just a little too. We know that just as surely as work will start, it will also end, and that it, usually, won't be even half as bad as we think it will. All those people looking at their phones are just snatching a few minutes with the life they love, be it playing a game, looking at pictures taken with friends, sharing a message with those dearest to them, reading a book or a comic, browsing for something on Amazon, or just watching something that puts a smile on their face and reminds them that even Monday mornings aren't so bad. Here we are, all collectively suffering, but more importantly, just sharing this experience called life, with its many ups and downs and bumps and bruises. And while we may step off the train and be greeted with a horrific downpour, it's just as likely that the clouds will break and the sun will shine through to greet us. For indeed, for every Monday morning, there is a Saturday night. For every tedious job our boss lays at our feet, there are nights spent alone, drawing, writing, playing music, and just lost in the rapture of creativity and passion. And for every cold, lonely train commute, there is time spent with friends and loved ones, scored by the sound of great music, the taste of delicious food, and punctuated by the deep, rumbling sound of laughter.